All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are trading the uh, Nasdaq 100. Um, very good, very good day today for volatility, and I do have a lot to go over. Um, this trade right here was perfectly executed. Um, So with that being said, let's just go ahead and do a complete rundown of daily bias, right? So what I saw was we took out previous days. So that was the 26th. What was the 26th? Friday. So we took out Thursday's high and then we closed inside of the range. So note how the body of this candle continued to stay lower than this wick. So that was like my bias going on for the day. That right there is bearish signature for me. I'm not able to go to the 12 hour because Topstep won't allow that. So what I wanted to see was I wanted to see us hold lower than this range right here. Yeah, so if you bust this candle up, there was a body in there. So we ended up staying lower. So I was waiting for the 9:30 news, or I'm sorry, the 9:30 market open. So note how we wicked up and then we still closed below this series of down close candles. That is more bearish signature. So we completely manipulated, which means that we closed above this range right here and then we closed below that range. That is also bearish signature. That's telling me we want to take out wicks, which is also sell side liquidity. So from there, we do have a fair value gap. They ended up getting inversed. That's more bearish signature for me. And within that 1 minute big fair value gap, let's see. So this was market open. So we failed to sweep this liquidity, this sell side right here. So we went up and had to manipulate. A bunch of people in the market bought in right there. So as soon as we come down and we liquidize that, this is what I mean. A bunch of people did this right here. Try to go to all-time highs or something. So as soon as we hit those stop losses, as soon as we do that, that generates liquidity in the market to move. So what I saw was we had not at the time, it was not an order block at the time, but my entry was on the 32nd today. So what we did was we came up and we swept this series, or we wicked up and then we stayed below this range. We stayed below this body. We closed below that body. So then what I'm waiting for is a change in the state of delivery, which we had right here. So I like to be a perfectionist. I like to have a perfect sniper entry. So what that compiles of is we swept this previous candle and then we have a change in the state of delivery with proper price action volatility. So this right here is price action volatility that I want to see. So I said, okay, cool. So I got in. My stop loss was above this order block and above also this fair value gap right here. So we came down, we hit equilibrium with that fair value gap right here. And then as soon as we respect that, we close below, that's my A plus entry. So within that, I'm now viewing on the 1 minute time frame with a 20 and a 9 EMA. I only use EMAs once I'm in the trade. I do not use that for to determine my bias. So We have a big push down. That was a 25, look right there, that's a 25-point candle almost. So I say, okay, cool. As long as we stay below this wick and we do not cross over the EMA, should be good. So really, if we would have done that, my stop loss would have been moved down to here. So yeah, so during the trade, since we stayed below this wick, we respected this order block. That basically made me say, okay, cool. This is volatility. We're respecting bear signature. I want to see us go to here to reach this sell side liquidity. So I did take 2 positions because this was an A+ entry. And what happened was, as soon as we closed below these moving averages, I had a buy limit, right here to take 1 position off to secure $144. So as soon as we did that, I moved my stop loss to break even. And then we end up crossing over the EMAs, and I end up getting my stop loss hit at break even right here. So during the trade, I was like, okay, cool. If we can close below this right here, which we failed to do so, I would have stayed in the trade a little bit longer to see if we could cross over the EMAs again to then get a second push down to here. So why was my take profit down here? There was more sell side liquidity resting down here, and there's a daily fair value gap. So if we could have swept this, if we could have taken this out, I think that we would have proceeded lower to hit equilibrium with that fair value gap. So since we didn't, we had our stop at break even, secure profits. And yeah, so that is the technical side of it. I now want to go into what I have been kind of testing as well. This is my psychology points. This is how I grade every single day. So during a session, I believe that there are 4 parts of the trade, right? And you guys, I would love if you can back test this, or just test this out. Let me get another. I have another Google Doc. So this is how I grade every single day to basically keep my mind off the money. So today I secured 8 psychology points. That's the max that I can achieve. So today was a really good day. Today was not a good day due to my P&L. My day is not determined by a P&L. My day is solely gauged by these psychology points. So when you have your observer, so you're going through everything like daily bias, I'll draw out my ranges, I'll draw out manipulation ranges. So professionally, to secure 2 points, I used everything in my power to successfully observe buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, draw on liquidity, and target. Mid, which is like 1 point, I missed a couple of things that led me to a lower RR. Today was perfectly executed, so that would be 2 points for the day. So this is how I like to journal. This is just me back testing. Honestly, I'm gonna create another document for live trading, but for today, Monday, day 1. So my observer is plus 2 points. Alright? So now we're going to go to the executioner. This is the second phase of the trade, of the psychology during trading. The professional level is words are hard sometimes. I perfectly executed and used change in the state of delivery or displacement for a sniper entry. So that's what I did today. So that's going to be another plus 2 points on the day. Mid would be I missed out on a perfect entry but was still reasonable and logical. Bad is I got in and entered based off illogical emotion driven by greed or FOMO. So then we're going to go to the manager. So after you have observed, after you have executed, you're now managing the trade. So you are floating in between your stop loss and your take profit. So professional is I monitored structure, bullish bearish signatures to let my trade fully hit take profit or move stop to break even partial profit accordingly. That is exactly what has happened today. So that's going to be another 2 points. So now let's go. So, all right, cool. So observer, this is something that I do not struggle with as much. So it's either going to be like a plus 2 point day or a plus 1 point day. There's no 0 or no -1 here. Executioner. So that means that I tend to have a couple of bad executions from time to time. So that's why I have 0 points right here. So I have 2, 1, 0. And up here I only have 2 and 1. Because I tend to struggle slightly off of my executions. Every once in a while, I will have an emotion-driven execution or a FOMO execution. So then we're going to go to manager. So today was professional. I monitor structure, blah, blah, blah. Terrible is there's no in-between here for the manager. This is something that I really struggle with. This is something I really struggle with from time to time, so I grade it a little bit differently. Hold on, my OCD is kicking in. Alright, cool, whatever. So, terrible would be I completely micromanage my position and move my stop loss due to emotion, fear, or greed. This is where I struggle most, so I'm harder on this topic. Correct. So now we're going to go to the closer. So you have observer, executioner, manager, and then you have the closer. All right. So professionally, I'll let this trade hit my intended take profit or stop loss. That's exactly what I did at break even. I let this hit my position right here for sell side liquidity, and I also took off a position. So that is great management, and that is great closing right there. So that is plus 2 points for the day. So in total, we had a 8-point day, and my risk to reward on my first position was a 1 to 1.3. And that was for 73 points. 1.3 R, 73 points. So that's how I grade my everyday performance. So yeah. Also, another thing that I really want to go on, or that I really like to go off of, I'm pulling up some notes. Alright, so this is some psychology, right? So, in the past couple of days, I realized that I have had an identity crisis. And I know that sounds crazy, but hopefully this will simplify it. So, the answer is not to look at trading as your identity. The answer is to operate out of love. The truth to my identity is love. Love is my identity. This is so powerful because my world was revolving around trading. Now I'm aware through the Lord's insight, I'm able to establish order. I'm removing trading as my identity and replacing it with love. Trading now is in the right place. Trading will revolve around love, which is the fulcrum of my identity. This is how I gain control and detach, because I know it's in the correct order. No reason to stress or act emotionally, because now trading revolves around love in my life. This hit me so hard in my soul, there is no chance of denying it. Love is unconditional and comes from the Spirit. Choose love over everything in any circumstance, and you will have supernatural, fulfilling peace and dominion over that earthly thing. So yes, the truth is that every single day for me would depend on my P&L. Like, I would either be stressed, pissed off, depressed. I don't really like depression. I don't really think that I get depressed, but some people do, which is perfectly fine. So, yeah, it's just like I would literally make my whole day, whether it was the people that I treated, it made me treat people differently. I was stressed, egotistical. If I took a loss, I would bash myself. I'm already hard on myself as it is. But that's the truth of it. Your identity is not trading, bro. This is a game that if you can fully understand and break down, it can supply you money. So, now that we know that trading is not our identity and our identity is love, how are we going to get our minds off the P&L? This is the system that I have created from listening to a lot of psychological lectures in my free time. Shout out to Lawrence the Investor. He gave me this way to judge, or he gave me this insight, and then I used that knowledge to create a psychological grading system for my day-to-day performance. So that's what happened today. That's what I'm going through psychologically. And right now, you guys, I really, really hope you can hit that like and subscribe button. This is the best form of trading, or this is the best I've ever traded. This is the most disciplined I ever am, or I've ever been, inside the charts and outside of the charts. And I feel like everything is established through order. I feel like I have everything in order. Trading was in the wrong place. Love was in the wrong place. So that is purely just replacing bad habits with good habits. If you are struggling with your trading psychology, drop it in the comments, and I will read those comments, and hopefully I can help you guys out. So that's going to be it for today. Had a 1-3 RR trade for 73 points, and then I let another position run, and it ended up getting hit at break even. Great volatility for a Monday. Mondays are usually my worst trading day, so this was a perfect Monday. Thanks you guys for watching. See you guys later. I'll be back trading tomorrow. Peace out.